What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Twisted Life TV. I am Poetry. You are here for a recap and review of This Is Us Season 4, Episode 1, Strangers. Yes, we are a week behind. We were preparing for tonight's episode. This is Tuesday, and then we'll pick it up on a regular basis. It took some time for me to absorb what I really saw. I actually had to watch this episode a couple times. While it was airing, I was live tweeting, and I would tell you that everybody and their mama was confused. Who the heck are these people? Now, for myself, I wasn't as confused because on my community board, I had already posted that there were going to be 3 new characters that have been introduced into the script. Come to find out, there's more than 3. There's like families that are being introduced, but 3 main characters. And the main character is supposed to be, or at least popular characters, Omar Epps, Sarah McLachlan, or McLaren. Damn it, and I can't think of the other girl name just that quick. Anyway, I put it up on my community board. But we had some introduction to some new characters. Now, everybody and their mama was trying to figure out who these people, Harper, who this woman. Everybody was trying to figure that out. Everybody, with hands down, without a doubt, knew that the blind guy was Toby and Kate's son. There was not a single person that I saw on Twitter who had not guessed that. One of the main reasons that led me to know that that was Kate's son was the fact that they never said his name. Never said his name. Malik, the little boy, Asante Black is his real name, and Omar Epps, that family. I said that family had something to do with Deja. I said they was going to be her kinfolk. The sergeant, Cass Sharp, had no clue what was going on with her. But a lot of people guessed that she was Nikki's daughter. Okay. So then there was one really good guess, was that all 3 of these people were donors from Jack. When he passed away, that he donated his organs. They had received organs from Jack. That's one person. I thought that was such a good guess right there. Well, I had 1.2 right, or 1.5. We open up with, I don't remember who we opened up with first. I'm just going to, because this was last week. We start off with this, the guy walking through his apartment, talking to his dog, who was a little pup at the time. He's making himself breakfast, and when he gets ready to sit down to get his food, the dog knocked his plate down. He smashed the plate to smithereens. So now he got to go find somewhere to eat because he's hungry. He can't cook again. He was real disturbed. You could tell he was out of sorts, that he was doing this on his own. You know, he got his trusty friend, his dog there, but, you know, he was lonely. You could sense that when watching him. Then we go over to the Army sergeant, I think we went to next. She's on the SATCOM talking to her husband. Somehow I knew she was a jarhead. I knew it. I don't know why. But she was talking to her husband, and you could see that there was a disconnect. You haven't talked to your woman in I don't know how long, and when she finally calls you, you like, yeah, how's it going? Okay. Nah, I didn't keep him up this time. It seemed like she had forgot a lot, or did not call a lot. Had the son or the kid waiting up a lot for her to call, and she wasn't doing it. So she apologized for her taking so long. I think it had been 3 weeks, she said, so she had last called home. That puts a lot of fear and worry into someone. And then when you realize that that person ain't dead, then you get mad. Like, what they ain't called for? You know, I know you could call, but you don't know what's going on with people when they're over in a wartime situation. She got called away off the phone, so her conversation was short-lived, but she's like, just make sure, let y'all know I've been thinking about y'all. I love y'all. No, even though I'm not calling, y'all are always on my mind. You always in my heart. I love you. He didn't even say I love you back. He didn't even say bye. He's like, all right. I was like, damn. There was disconnect. Clear disconnect. Okay, so then we go to this little boy. He out here coming up on the schoolyard, and his friends, they sitting around talking or what have you. And They talking about just school, a homeroom, and why homeroom was unnecessary. I always felt it was unnecessary too. You just sitting there, you take a roll, and then you go on to your next class. It's a waste of fucking time. But yeah, I know that's got to do with money. Schools want to know, get a head count. That's how they get their budgets about how many people actually show up on the first day of school, yada, 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 yada. So they're talking about that. You could tell this young man, his name is Malik, is a hustler. His friend was like, that's all I'm going to say about that. He was like, oh, really? That's all you're going to say? Because if you say another word, you owe me $1. When his boy wasn't done talking, he knew he wasn't done talking. So he paid him his $1. So you could tell right then Malik was a hustler. And then across the street, there was this little car pulled up. I want to say it was like a little Trans Am, maybe something like that. Revving his engine, vroom, vroom, vroom. And not Monique, God bless America. Malik, looking at the car like, damn, that's fire. When I grow up, I'm going to give me one of them. That's how he was looking. He had that desire, the dream in his looks and his eyes. So that's how we start off being introduced with these characters. So then we go into the restaurant with the blind guy. Where he meets Lucy. Everybody and their mama shipped him and Lucy together, which came out to be the truth. I'm going to go through these real quick because, again, this is old. This is last week, so I'm not going to give too much forethought on it or afterthought on it. We meet Lucy, and Lucy was trying to go home that day, for real. But he was charming. He was witty. We learned he was a musician. Well, failed musician. He was trying to write the best song ever, but he sucked. Again, that just solidified he was Kate and Toby's son. He had the charisma of Toby with the passion and drive of Kate. That's what it felt like to me. The opening credits song was actually the song that he was singing at the very end, the song that he wrote. I heard y'all made that song, Strangers, #1 on iTunes. It was cool. It was cool. It was a cool little song. I might have to listen to the words again. But basically the words was really walking through, everything that he had done to find Lucy. Well, we always get a flashback. In the flashback, I always call Becca Kate. Rebecca and Jack are making it back from their trip to California. Remember, we ended up her taking their trip, going out to the audition. They're back. They're home. And they've only known each other a week and a half at this point. They have this sarcasm or this dry humor between them. They exchange sarcasm between them that, is cute. It's cute when you like somebody. It's like when the joke ain't funny, when it really ain't funny, you just look like, fuck, you trying to be funny, you trying too hard. But it's cute when it's somebody that you like, that you can throw, quips back and forth like that with. He asked her to go out on another date. After they said they weren't going to even call each other, but they was joking about that. He called her up, asked her to go out on another date. She was like, well, I can't go. I, got a dinner date with my parents, but you're welcome to come with my parents. Now, I've only known you a week and a half, but I did just travel across the country with you, so I guess we know you a little better than people who've known each other for years. And now you finna come meet my parents. She said, yeah, my mother's kind of hard, but my daddy's a pushover. He'll love you. Now, we already met her mama before. Her mama was a racist bitch. We remember that. This is the first, I think, where we really talked about her daddy, other than the fact that mama said that daddy was straight and narrow. He was old school traditional. She had to make sure that she had her makeup on before he got up in the morning. Had her comb, have his food on the table, hot and ready when he walked through the door. That type of old school relationship is what I'm talking about. That old, submissive type of wife situation, which is why she was such a bitter fucking Betty. But that's what it seemed like when we heard about him in other episodes. But she's saying her daddy is a pushover. He gonna love you. But the dinner is at a country club. They got a little dinero. So Jack has to wear a sports coat. And she was like, if you don't have one, they have them there. Don't worry. He's like, oh, no, cool, I got one. He didn't have one. Well, he goes into the store, the soup store, to buy a soup. And this is where we meet Miguel. This is his first interaction with Miguel. I think Miguel knew he didn't have no money. So after they spoke briefly, it seemed like they made a connection with themselves there. He told him, look here, just take the suit. Don't turn the tag off. Make sure it's clean when you bring it back. Get your money back. That way, So that's how their friendship was formed. There was one thing that Becca had mentioned earlier in the episode, was that it's funny how you can meet one person, you can meet a stranger, and then somehow your paths cross and it changes the rest of your life. And in this particular episode, that is exactly what is going on. We go back over to Lucy and the blind guy. They started at the diner. They sat down, started talking and drinking coffee together. Then next thing he showed that they had moved in together. They smooching and making out. And then they are, what is he doing? He proposing to her. The dog done grew the fuck up. He proposing. They get married. She had mentioned while they was in the restaurant that she used to be a chef, or she wanted to be a chef. And now they're at the point where they opening up her restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And he done wrote his big hit, his most popular song, Strangers. They all in love, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. It was like the perfect meeting. And then, yes, it was confirmed that he was Toby and Kate's son. Because remember, you go back to the last episode, the son wasn't responding. The baby wasn't responding to natural responses. And come to find out, he was blind. He could sense some light, some shapes, but most part he was blind, and it was never going to be corrected. And that's when we learned, yes, that was Toby and Kate's child. Toby and Kate's child. I'm fucking up people's names right now. Sorry about that. So what else happens? We go back with the sergeant. We're going to go back to the sergeant. Yeah, we're going to go back to the sergeant. Well, she has to go on post now. They're going in town to this, I think they were in Afghanistan, to this little village in Afghanistan. And she's trying to, Cassidy Sharp is her name. She's trying to get information from an informant about who the insurgent is. And she has to convince this woman that in order to save you and your child, then you need to give me this information or everybody gonna die. Well, the lady was like, okay, not only do I want our visas to make sure the village got water, because she must be the provider for the village. She want to make sure her people are taken care of as well. Cass like, fine, I can do that. Well, Cass is CEO, or Gunny. Which one was it? I think he was her CEO. Her platoon leader was saying, look, we ain't got much time. We got 5 minutes. I don't want to be in here. If somebody come up and sneak up on us, and as they were in there, somebody was approaching. 12 military figures. They got to get ready. So she got to get her ass out of there. Well, the informant's baby was crying. And Cass is like, you got to shut that baby up. The baby was annoying the hell out of her. She's trying to negotiate. And she's like, somebody keep me quiet. Get that baby quiet. Calm him down. Something like that. Do this for your son. She laid on the premise that I have a child too. I understand your fear, but I would do anything in the world to make sure that my child is safe. You're going to have to make that decision for you. But as she was getting ready to walk out the door and walk away from the situation, the informant was like, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. So she gave her the picture of the guy, of the informant, and they hightailed it out of her. Well, Cass is laying in the bed on the cot thinking about what had just transpired throughout the day. And the gunny walk in and tell her that the person that they were looking for, the insurgent, has been killed. They blew up the back of the house. It must have been some gunpowder or something up in there, some fertilizer or something, because the explosion was bigger than they thought. They was only supposed to capture and talk to the person, but, the U.S. government don't ever do what the hell they going to say they going to do. They going to, So the village that needed water is no more. Now, her person, she's saved to go still work on the visa for her and that little boy to get out of there. But the rest of the village, no, it's gone. Ain't no water need to be transferred over there because the village is gone. Well, we fast forward and Cass is home in the United States. She's come home to a hero's welcome Everybody's cheering and applauding and this, that, and the third. And she is going through bouts of PTSD at this point. Depression and anxiety, all of it is hitting her all at the same time. We fast forward a little bit more. Her son is getting on my nerves. He keep, mommy, mommy this, mommy, mommy that. She like, give me a second. I'm talking to your father right now. It's bills stacked pile high on the table. And daddy ain't disciplining the little boy. You know, he ain't telling him to do anything. It seemed to me as if the daddy was getting some type of pleasure that she was getting annoyed. Okay. Well, he steady just laying it on her thicker and thicker and thicker. You got this bill, you got that bill, you got this bill, you got that bill. You know what I'm saying? You know, when veterans return home for war, you would think that they would be well taken care of, but our government don't do that. They still broke. She's trying to find a job and this, that, and the third. And he's just been at home taking care of the son, I guess. But shit, the little boy was a bit unruly. She ended up popping the little boy in the head. I would have popped him too. I'm telling you. But I said, fuck, I got PTSD too. So shit. He was annoying. He was annoying me. And there was something about her husband saying that they have a $1,200 bill for the air conditioning that triggered her PTSD. The PTSD can be triggered for anything, sounds, smells, touches. The fact that the little boy was grabbing on her and hollering reminded her of the little boy that was screaming back, you know, in Afghanistan and wouldn't shut up when she's trying to negotiate. And she was trying to have a conversation with her husband, which is almost like a negotiation at the same time. And then he tell her that they got a $1,200 bill, not $1,200 bill. And it takes her back to the moment when she was in Afghanistan, when the U.S. government went to go pay the survivors' families. They issued them $1,200 each. I don't know how much money that's worth over there. I don't even remember the breakdown of it, but that's how much they got paid for the lost life of their loved ones. So of course, you know, having these type of situations lead people, some people latch on to chemical substances, and hers was the liquor, the brown liquor. So this is why a lot of people was thinking that it was Cass. Then I kept saying, wait a minute, what if she's Kevin's new wife? Because in this particular episode, her husband left her and took her son. And now she's sitting up here in an AA meeting. She's sitting in the AA meeting, everybody trying to, you know, listen to her story about why she hit her son that day and why she was feeling the way she feel and how she trying to bounce back from it. And then a brick comes through the window. And who was throwing the brick? It's Nikki. So I don't believe that's Nikki's daughter. I don't believe that's Nikki's daughter. We still didn't get a clear understanding of who she was, but I don't believe it's Nikki's daughter. But this is where the strangers paths are crossing, because Nikki got arrested. Okay. And when Nikki got arrested, they called Kevin. So now Kevin has to go and get his uncle, who just threw a brick inside of the AA meeting, because evidently he might have been part of those veterans AA meetings, and that shit didn't help him. He thought it was a ruse. So at some point, Cass is going to meet Kevin, I believe. And I think that's who going to be Kevin's baby mama, because we never seen, or his wife, we never seen his child's mother. So next we see Malik. Okay. Well, Malik's friend had invited him to a barbecue. And Malik was supposed to be the chef, so Malik likes to cook as well. So somehow I think him and Lucy are going to cross paths, because Lucy likes to cook and Malik likes to cook. Somehow I think that's going to cross paths at some point. Well, Malik brought his mama home this burger, you know, and she was like, yeah, it's not as good as yours. So again, we get a hint that he likes to cook. It's not as good as yours, right? And he said he's going to go upstairs. And she said, don't wake that baby. So I'm like, okay. I'm thinking mama got a baby upstairs asleep. We go upstairs and he pick her up and she's already woke and she's just the most adorable little thing. I forgot, her name was Jelaine, something like that. I think there's something like that. Jelaine. I think the baby name was Jelaine. Baby Jay. So he picks up little baby Jay And he's like, I know grandma said don't pick you up, but daddy trumps grandma, don't he? I was like, oh shit, we got a teenage father here. We got a teenage father here. He got some responsibilities here. And in addition to his responsibilities that he got there, he got a job with his daddy, who is Omar Epps. They work at a garage together. Now, Malik don't look no older than 10, 11. But I'm thinking Malik is at least a teenager. He just looks, I don't know how old the actor Asante Black is. Is it just me? Anybody else watch The Walking Dead? Asante Black, the little boy that's playing Malik, looks like the deaf girl Kelly on The Walking Dead. They look like they could be sister and brother. They look alike to me, very much alike. Anyway, so they go to the garage. And like I say, I think it's his daddy's garage, Omar's garage. Because like it's an old lady in there who can't afford to pay her bill. And Omar's like, look here, pay me when you can. And Malik is looking like, really, daddy? Come on, we in this business to make money. We ain't in this business to be giving out charity. Well, a dude came in. I'm going to guess he's a little bit unscrupulous. Maybe the neighborhood dope man, something like that. Tells Omar he ain't been around the set in a minute. And Omar like, yeah, I ain't about that life no more. Well, he had a custom detail job done on his car, which Malik was in charge of the custom detailing. So Malik got a lot of skills. He's a hardworking man. He's a father. He's a chef. And he details cars. And evidently it was well enough that this dude liked it. Well, again, here is Malik with the idea of having his dream. Fast life, fast money, fast cars. You know, maybe fast women and good time bars. Something like that too. So he asked this dude for a job. You know, so that's what I'm saying. He's an unscrupulous fellow, possibly a dope man. And he was like, dude, what's his name? I don't remember Omar's name. I'm just going to call him Omar right now for this episode until I watch the next one. You Omar's kid. Call me when you grow up. I'm not going to do my boy like that. But he wants some money. And Omar peeped the conversation, right? So he calls his son out there a little later into the car and the ride and let him know, just because you have a child does not mean your life is over. I love this conversation he had. Just because you have a child does not mean your life is over. You know, you are a responsible young man, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop everything that you're doing. And I was watching something else. Oh, I was watching Money Heist. And on Money Heist, the guy told the same thing. I can't think of what the new guy name was, but he told Denver this about having a kid. And he was saying that when you have a child, you should try to do some of the same things, if not all of the things that you used to do before you had a kid. Because if you stop doing them, you're going to regret that kid for making you give up whatever you thought you had to give up in life. You could have a family and still do the things that you enjoy. And that's what Omar was telling him as well. He said, I will watch Baby J. Your mama watch Baby J. You going out with your friends. Go to that cookout that you was going to go to. And he was like, Dad, are you serious? He's like, yes. You do what you got to do. I got Baby J. Don't worry about it. Hell, we raised you. Trust me, we could raise her. Don't enjoy being a kid, son. And that other thing you was thinking about doing, get that out the back of your head. Get that out your mind. That's not for you. That is not the path that you want to go down. You want to be a father to your daughter, right? You can't guarantee that in that life. Your chances are less of being a daddy for that baby if you go that route. And I think Malik heard his daddy loud and clear. He heard him loud and clear. So he goes to the cookout. He on the grill, flipping burgers like that now. And this young lady walks up and say, hey, I want to introduce you to somebody. Who is it? Deja. It's Deja. Got introduced to little Malik. And she's smiling and sniggling all up in little Malik's face. Omar had said something to his wife about, I would do anything for you. Something along those lines, you know. And Malik repeated the exact same line to Deja in regards to this burger he was going to make for her. You know, anything that you need, custom make, I got it for you. Trust me, girl. I got you, boo. I don't remember the quote exactly, but that's what he was saying. So when Deja got home, she's still smiling, miles wide. And Randall was like, what the hell is wrong with your face? She's like, what you talking about? You smiling like a Cheshire cat, girl. What's going on? Well, so it looked like Deja is a little smitten with little Malik. So, I already gave my thoughts about Cass. I think Cass, in relation to, I think she's going to befriend Nikki of some sort. And from that relationship, I think that she's going to meet Kevin. I think she's going to be the new mama for Kevin's kid. I forgot what her son's name was, but I forgot what her son's name was. But we know that Jack is Jack, baby Jack. You know, like I say, he went on tour singing his song Strangers. It was a blast. And Deja and Malik, I think Randall is going to have a fit once he realized that Deja is smiling and sniggling over this teenage father. I think what's gonna be a battle of wits between Omar and Randall, showing how a responsible young man that Malik is, despite him having a baby at such a young age. But I think that's going to be a problem for the Randall household. And somebody on Twitter said that it's probably going to be Beth going to be the one with the problem more than anything. I don't know. I still think it's Randall. I still think it's going to be Randall. But in the meantime, Jack went on the date with Rebecca to meet the family. And one thing Becca asked for them not to do is to bring up Vietnam. As soon as Jack got comfortable and sat down in that seat, what did her daddy do? Talk about Vietnam. He was asking all kind of questions, making Jack feel real uncomfortable. You know, he hadn't had lobster before. He hadn't did this before. You know, they was making him real uneasy. But Jack excused himself from the table for a second because he had spilled something on his suit that he's supposed to be returning to the store. You know, you spill something on you, you know, you can't take that shit back. But so he need to go clean it off real quick. He's in the bathroom and he was looking at himself. He was thinking and thinking and thinking, right? He came out the bathroom, gathered himself and sat down and told her father, and whoever the other friend was. I think they asked about the parents. What do your parents do? It broke down what him and his mama did and about the father being a drunk and whatever. Jack broke him down. He was nice, nasty with it. Telling him, I ain't trying to showboat for you, pretty much. Only person I'm here to impress is your daughter. That's it. And I think I got that locked. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, either you're going to get over it or you're not, because I ain't going nowhere. Rebecca was like, oh, he ain't going nowhere. Yes. Now, his tag started to come out his sleeve, right? And Daddy, let him know. Give him a little head nod. You know, tuck the tag back in. You did good, son, is what he's saying. After dinner, you know, like I said, he was talking to Jack and telling him how impressed he was. He's a very impressionable young man. Gutsy, even. But you ain't the one for my daughter, and I'm going to make sure this never happens. I was like, oh, Daddy's an ass. Daddy's an ass. I always love the fact that Jack stood his ground against him, though. I'm like, but she got two assholes for parents. Two assholes for parents. I don't know why, if they're going to try to make us soften up to the mama now and make us try to forget that she was a racist bitch. But, Daddy an asshole too. It's going to be interesting to see how this whole season go. I absolutely love the introduction to the new characters. I know people were pretty upset with that. I wasn't upset because I already knew it was coming because I was following the show news that they were going to invite these new characters. I love the way that they introduced them, and then almost at the end of the episode, paths were being crossed and connecting the dots on how these strangers were going to affect us for the rest of our lives. I just thought it was, I just thought it was awesome. Awesome. So let's get ready for tonight's episode. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being patient. We'll be here throughout the entire season. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you've not already done so. Peace.